This is the WJTS News. In the news tonight, small plane crash in French Lick. OWI charges put Ferdinand woman behind bars. Animal complaint leads to gun and drug charges. Also, Kurt Guxell will be in with sports. On our Monday with the Mayor segment, we speak with Rockport Mayor Don Winkler. All this and more coming up on WJTS TV News. I'm Jenna Budell with the WJTS News. A Celestine man is unscathed after a small plane crash in French Lick. Just after 1:30 p.m., 70-year-old Johnny Bush of Celestine was attempting to land his single-engine fixed-wing airplane at the French Lick Airport when he experienced engine trouble and crashed. When police and emergency personnel arrived a short time later, they were able to see that Bush and another occupant of the plane were uninjured. However, they were unable to get a definitive reason for the crash. The Federal Aviation Administration and the National Transportation Safety Board are scheduled to investigate further. A Ferdinand woman was arrested on OWI charges this weekend. Early Sunday morning, Ferdinand police were called about a drunk driver in the Bruttsville Junction area. Police were able to locate and stop the driver, 41-year-old Heather Durkles of Ferdinand. She had been drinking and was taken to Jasper Police Department for further investigation. She was given a chemical test and her blood alcohol content tested at .11. Durkles was placed under arrest and charged with operating while intoxicated, a Class A misdemeanor. She was also cited for driving left of center. An animal complaint led to gun and drug charges for a serious violent felon. On Wednesday, the Martin County Sheriff's Office received a complaint concerning abandoned puppies at a house in Lagodi. A Martin County Animal Control officer and an officer with the Martin County Sheriff's Office headed to the scene. Upon arrival, the officer spoke with a man who was later identified as 45-year-old Michael Hurt of Lagodi, sleeping in a vehicle. Officers let him know of the complaint. While speaking with Hurt, officers smelled marijuana coming from inside the vehicle. The officers ordered Hurt to exit the vehicle twice, but Hurt refused both times. An officer attempted to open the vehicle door, but it was locked. The officer then reached through the window to open the door from the inside. Hurt rolled up the window on the officer's arm. However, the officer was able to open the door from the inside and free his arm from the window. Hurt was then detained in handcuffs and more officers arrived to search his vehicle. Officers ended up finding a firearm with an obliterated serial number, 1 gram of methamphetamine, 341 grams of marijuana, 1 syringe that contained residue that field tested positive for methamphetamine, 3 burnt hand-rolled cigarettes containing marijuana, and 1 digital scale with meth on it. Hurt was arrested and transported to the Martin County Security Center. Animal Control took care of the puppies. Hurt was charged with a level 4 felony count of possession of a firearm by a serious violent felon, a level 5 felony count of possession of methamphetamine with enhancing circumstance, a level 5 felony count of possession of a firearm with obliterated serial number, a level 6 felony count of unlawful possession of a syringe, a level 6 felony count of battery to law enforcement, a Class A misdemeanor of resisting law enforcement, a Class A misdemeanor count of dealing in marijuana, and a Class B misdemeanor count of possession of marijuana. A Bedford man was arrested on burglary charges after vandalizing a store. The Bloomington, Indiana State Police Post investigated a burglary that occurred at Tri-County Rental in Bedford last Tuesday night. When employees arrived at the establishment, they discovered that someone had cut through a chain-link fence and had stolen a pull-behind air compressor, valued at around $10,000. Troopers reviewed video footage from several local businesses and were able to piece together a timeline before, during, and after the burglary occurred. A suspect vehicle was identified and evidence at the scene was also collected. On the morning of November 26th, a tip was received that the stolen air compressor and the suspect vehicle were located at a residence in the 1000 block of Q Street in Bedford. Troopers were able to identify the air compressor as the one stolen from Tri-County Rental. Troopers then got a search warrant for the property and residence. The troopers executed the search warrant and recovered the stolen air compressor from 60-year-old Robert J. Brummett of Bedford. In addition, marijuana and drug paraphernalia were also seized from the residence. Brummett was taken into custody without incident and was transported to the Lawrence County Jail. Brummett was charged with a Level 5 felony count of burglary, a Level 6 felony count of theft, a Class A misdemeanor count of criminal mischief, a Class B misdemeanor count of possession of marijuana, and a Class C misdemeanor count of possession of paraphernalia. 42 new cases of COVID-19 were reported in DuBois County on Monday. According to the Indiana State Department of Health's COVID-19 dashboard, the county now has 2,537 positive cases with 32 deaths. The dashboard also shows that the county's 7-day rolling average for all positive tests is 10.6%. 12,525 residents have been tested since the pandemic began in March. To see a breakdown of the county's COVID-19 cases by age group and for more information, visit coronavirus.in.gov. The best way to protect yourself and others around you is by practicing social distancing, washing your hands frequently with soap and water, and to mask up. The Indiana State Department of Health is reporting 5,456 COVID-19 related deaths, 338,977 positive cases, and 4,259,964 Indiana residents have been tested for the virus as of Monday afternoon. The numbers for our viewing area are as follows. Starting off in DuBois County with 2,537 cases, 32 deaths. Pike is reporting 549 cases, 20 deaths. Spencer with 926 cases, 8 deaths. Perry, 873 cases, 21 deaths. Martin, 386 cases, 6 deaths. Davies County reporting 1,675 cases, 45 deaths. Orange reporting 731 cases, 28 deaths. Knox County with 1,980 cases, 21 deaths. Crawford, 325 cases, 1 death. Posey, 1,303 cases, 18 deaths. Lawrence reporting 1,913 cases with 49 deaths. Gibson, 2,073 cases, 29 deaths. Warwick County, 3,500 cases, 73 deaths. And Vanderburgh is reporting 10,546 cases and 128 deaths. To see a map of cases by county, head to coronavirus.in.gov. Caesars Entertainment will have another year to sell its Northwestern Indiana casino as required by state officials. The Indiana Gaming Commission voted this past week to give the Nevada-based company an extension from what had been a December 31st deadline. The commission ordered Caesars in July to sell 3 Indiana casinos after its takeover by Eldorado Resorts gave the company 5 of Indiana's 13 state-licensed casinos, which generate between 50% and 60% of state casino tax revenue. Commission Executive Director Sarah Gonzo Tate recommended the deadline extension for selling the Hammond Casino along Lake Michigan, citing uncertainty over casino expansion in Illinois and the impact of the coronavirus pandemic on the gambling industry. Caesars Chief Executive Thomas Reeg told the commission that it would keep up the Hammond Casino ahead of a future sale. The company plans to retain ownership of the Central Indiana casinos in Anderson and Shelbyville, while it is in the process of selling those in Evansville and the Louisville, Kentucky area community of Elizabeth. Now stay tuned. Weather and sports are still to come on WJTS TV News.